Let's recall the concept of congruent. So previously you have learned the idea of congruent triangles, talking about the triangles are identical to each other, they have equal length, equal angles, equal shape as well. So if you're talking about congruent 2D figures, it carries the same idea. So it may be quadrilateral, it may be pentagon, but the main point will be they should have the equal size, equal length, and equal shape. For example, now in question number 1, can you figure out which figures are congruent? So simply you check whether the figures are totally the same. For example, the rectangles in 1A will be rotated or they have different orientation, but yet they are equal to each other. Similarly, in 1B, you can rotate the figure and then flip it. Flip it, that means you flip it upside down, so you can turn to the second figure. So these figures are called congruent. C will be also congruent figures. You can check it by yourselves, but D definitely they are not congruent. So this is a very brief idea talking about congruent 2D figures or maybe like congruent polygons. Now we come to the main idea about how we can make use of given congruent figures to say some angles are the same or find the unknowns, etc. What do I mean? For example, in number 3 here, you will see you're asking for finding the unknowns x and z. Now you will see that angle x is located at C. So that's why, according to the congruent figures, C should be matching with G, which is z over there. So it seems like we have done nothing, but it will be a very good start. Because now we can't find any unknown immediately, so I think of, is it possible for us to find angle B, which is the second letter of the congruent figures? To B, it matches to F, so that means which is 82 degrees. So as a result, it will be a very good start because angle B we know is 82 degrees directly. Afterward, with this help, then you can look at the first figure, x 86 degrees, 120, and lastly 105 degrees will be equal to 360 because of angle sum of polygon. Finally, you get x will be, this is 49 degrees. Similarly, z will be equal to x, that means it's equal to 49 degrees. So it completes the question very easy, right? So the main point will be whether you can, congruent figures means that everything are the same, length, angles, etc. So the key will be you need to match with the letters. Coming up next, maybe we can try number 6. So first of all, you have length A, ACM, which is called DE. So DE is here. According to congruent figures, it matches to MN, so which is 14. So that's why we can complete the question very quickly. A is 14, that's all. Afterward, we have another unknown x here, which is the letter N. N should be matching to E, which is an unknown here. Okay, so we have the last letter Y, which is a D here. According to congruent figures, it matches to M, which is 65 degrees. So as a result, we can get y is 65 degrees immediately. The last thing will be, well, how can we find the blue one, x? Now can you see that back to the first figure, I forgot to make use of the parallel lines in the question, in which you will see that the angle E, but we have to write very precisely called angle AED, plus 68 degrees will be 180. Because of the parallel lines giving you interior angles called AB parallel to DE. So as a result, you've got angle ADE to be 112 degrees immediately. The main point to note will be this one will be matching to X in the second figure. So these two angles, they are equal to each other. So that's why you can say X will be 112 degrees finally. So this is the idea of congruent figures. Very easy because you are not asked to prove they are congruent, but you are making use of the feature of congruent figures, equal size, equal angles to find out the answers. Lastly, let's take a look on a harder question. This is a question with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagons. So the hexagons are congruent to each other. And now you are asked to find TUV and PUT respectively. So let's look at TUV. TUV is an angle in the second figure. So we have T, maybe I mark 1, 2, 3 here. That means U will be the angle we are locating at. So according to congruent figures and the lattice provided, so I should look at 1, 2, 3. That means I should look at QRS. So let's locate it. So you've got 57 degrees. So that's why A will be a very easy thing. TUV will be 57 degrees directly. Now let's see whether the next one PUT will be easy as well. PUT, so you have 1 PUT. So angle U will be the thing you're reading at. So I mark it in yellow in the figure as well. So according to the statement in the question, so the figures are congruent. So I should have 1, 2, 3 here. That means angle X will be our target. Now I should look at SXW. So this is the yellow angle over there. And now I come to a trouble that I can't find the yellow angles at once. So I go back to look at my previous job and I find that I forgot to mark this TUV in the figure. So if you add it, you will see the yellow angle will be quite easy because, so let's look at the one at U first. Angle PUT actually is not coming or talking about congruent figures, but it's just simply talking about adjacent angle on straight line. 180 degrees minus 57. Recent adjacent angles on straight line. So as a result, the answer will be 123 degrees in part A. So the hard jobs may be in part B because you are going to prove or to explain why QR and WX are parallel to each other. So let's highlight the line as follows. You have QR, you have WX. So it seems like I'm going to add the line RX to connect the two lines together. So as a result, you will see that the question should be about interior angles because you are talking about the two angles in light big U over there. So in order to see whether it's yes or no, the key will be you need to look at angle X that we have already find that is equal to PUT according to congruent figures. And then once again you say angle X, this time we can be a bit lazier to use one letter only, equal to angle PUT, which is 123 degrees because of congruent figures. So as a result, now you can look at angle R plus angle X, or I should put in yellow. So these two angles add up together will be 57 and also 123 degrees. No reason because you just quote the values out of them. And finally it's 180 degrees. This is a favorable outcome because now you can say the lines are parallel to each other because of interior angles supplementary. So finally, you will find that the question itself is not that hard, but the point will be, once again, congruent figures you have to match with the lattice, match the angles, match the size, etc. While a follow-up question requires you some prior knowledge, for example, how you can prove the lines are parallel, or whether you can judge that, oh, the question is about interior angles. Hope the video helps you. Goodbye.